Hi, I'm Michael Allison. I'm the Commercial Director at Roma Finance. I'm delighted to be joined as ever by our founder and MD, Scott Marshall. We're just going to talk really about where we've got to so far this year in our quarter 1 results, and it's been a fantastic start to the year for Roma, hasn't it, Scott?
It has indeed. And we continue to see our redemptions performing incredibly strongly. And if we think back to last month, I think last month will be our best month ever in terms of redemptions. So think back to the challenges that we know some of our competitors have had, and I think are continuing to experience. And actually, our business has been incredibly liquid, and it's one of the mantras that we know in our industry is it's dead easy to lend. It's much harder to get it back. And actually, I think one of our challenges has been that we've found it incredibly easy to get the money back and getting the deals over the line, and getting cases completed.
Well,
actually, it's got to be the focus of our business.
To be honest, as commercial director, I echo that. This year is all about growing our loan book.
Indeed.
And continue to grow it. One of the benefits, though, of the borrowers redeeming us is we have a high turnaround of customers who want to work with us again. And the successful projects, when they're redeeming us, that's our success moment, but they're extracting that profit. And right now, they're buying some really good schemes and starting to go again. So we always pride ourselves, actually, a borrower should always be looking at one, developing one, and selling one. So if we can continue to see that cycle, what we've actually got at this moment in time is a lot of motivated Roma borrowers back out into the marketplace with that equity cash that they've just extracted from one deal, ready to go into the other one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think one of the things that we also say is, it's not how much money can we make from a transaction at all. Actually, what we want to do is we want to see our customers do well. Our interests are aligned with our borrowers. So their success moment when they refinance or when they sell a property having done a project, increasing the value of the asset that they've been working on, that's our success moment too. And what we want to see is those borrowers coming back, and us continuing to help them on their journey of creating wealth for themselves and their families.
Absolutely. Lending at the end of the day, you can approach it one of two ways, and I like the way that we approach it, which is it's all about business partnership. We're there, I was talking to a couple of borrowers a few weeks ago who's on the loan number 21 with us. They started out with one of our smaller transactional product offerings. Now they're moving through into some of the higher development finance space. But as they've grown and we've grown together. And at any one time, you can be penny rich and pound poor if you focus in on just that transaction.
You're right. And many of our competitors, what they're doing, they're kind of trying to make money from the equity that the borrower's got within a property, whereas our whole raison d'etre, our whole modus operandi is how can we enable our customers to use our money to increase the equity that the borrower's got in a property, rather than extracting the equity that they've got in order to service our profits.
Yeah. Our job in the relationship should be to provide the certainty and service to enable them to be able to deliver that quality project at the end. That's our stake in it. We put the cash in there, but we put the expertise stake in as well, and the service stake. So for us, focusing on the ultimate wish of where the customer wants to get to and helping them get there absolutely aligns with how you should be treating people in general.
Look, our role is to add value to our customers and our customers' lives.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do, to enable them to continue on their property journey, solving an issue that sits there for the UK housing stock and lack of it. And if we think about the way in which the construction industry has slowed down since base rates have been going up and a cost of living crisis, actually, what have we been doing? We've been throwing more money out there, supporting smaller developers, smaller house builders to create more housing stock to continue to solve a need that's definitely there in the market.
No, definitely. So that's obviously, we're receiving a lot in from redemptions, but we're also looking at doing quite a few really good investments at this moment in time. And investing in people has been a real piece of ours, hasn't it? I know we're entering into our 15th year of trading.
Yep.
So 15 years ago, it was you.
Yep.
And then we obviously brought Dan in as employee number one. And now in the Manchester area, we employ up to 60 people.
We do.
And that continued investment. But I think certainly I'm coming up to my 3rd year at Roma already.
Wow.
I know. I still feel new some days. But, in my time here, I've been able to develop as an individual, and there's lots of colleagues who've been able to do that. Was that always the goal for you when you set up the business? Not just from a lending point of view, but to be an employer, I guess?
I think one of the things that I found the most rewarding from developing the business has been seeing other people grow and develop their careers within the business. If I think about the people that we've got, I think that our turnover of staff is incredibly low. In the vast majority of cases where someone's left our business, they've left as an ambassador of our business and has gone on to do great things with their career.
Occasionally return as well.
And sometimes we've had some customers, colleagues returning to us as well as customers, which is never a bad thing. It shows that actually we're a good employer. So one of the things that we have signed up to is the Good Employer Charter for Greater Manchester, and hence why we've had monies into our business from the Greater Manchester Combined Authority, because of the way in which we support employment in the city that we love. The way in which we grow talent in our business. I mean, I find it incredibly rewarding. For example, having seen one colleague in particular, this person joined from working on a makeup counter, and we're now sponsoring her through her HR qualifications, and she's done a number of different roles in our business. We have developed other people in our business. We are, I think, as far as I'm aware, we're one of the few firms in our space that's been accredited by the ACA, the Chartered Accountants Institute, to be able to qualify chartered accountants. So we've got one person in our business that we are sponsoring to become a chartered accountant. How many other businesses in our space are, we're sponsoring you to do an MBA? How many other businesses in our space are sponsoring people to do a qualification like that? I find it incredibly rewarding, not only seeing our customers do well, but seeing our colleagues do well within our business and grow their careers within it as well.
Yeah, obviously as a recipient of that, it makes a difference being part of a business that does that. Also, as well, I think one of the things that I'm most proud of, and it came to fruition as well, again over the case of the last quarter, is our approach to ESG. So obviously the whole ESG pull was, we sat down as a board and we said, well, this can either be a white paper that we put in a drawer and we wheel out for investors from time to time, or we can actually make it the fabric of the culture of the business. So we set up the different employee-led committees, so one for environmental, one for social, one for employee engagement, and then the diversity and inclusion one as well, which is colleague-led. And some of the initiatives that we've had, if that was you or I just doing it, number one, we wouldn't give it as much focus because we have everything else to do. We probably would have been in danger of a bit of greenwashing or social washing because we'd have just been making sure that we're there to deliver it. Giving it to the colleagues, they've really owned that. And I know when we had our recent away day, we came away really invigorated with the work that's being done. It's great to be a part of.
Indeed, and I think that so many companies see that as almost a badge, a greenwashing badge that they can just go to the market and say, "Oh, we're doing this," but actually, it is endemic right through our culture, right through our business. That ESG is absolutely core to what we do, and it's not just ESG. For example, actually doing the right thing by our people, doing the right thing by our customers, the right thing by all stakeholders in our business. Just think about the work that we did around consumer duty. We're not a regulated lender, but think about what we did on consumer duty. How we trained our people around what consumer duty is, what consumer duty means. How many other unregulated businesses behave in such a regulated way to educate their people around something that doesn't concern them, but is still best practice in our industry.
So that's Q1.
Yep.
Are we done? Have we got more plans?
No. We've not even scratched the surface of what we can achieve as a business. And if I think about some of the initiatives that we've got going on over the next quarter and the next half year, think about the way in which we're intending to use AI, for example, to improve that customer journey, to improve that colleague journey, to advance tech in our industry. I think back to where we were the first business in our space as far as I'm aware, to embrace open banking back in 2018 to improve that borrower journey. We were the first business in our space, as far as I'm aware, to use a bespoke insurance product to speed up the way in which the legal process was done in our industry. We were the first business in our space to use technology where we could extract the data that's embedded in the chip within a borrower's passport in order to identify that person, to speed up the way in which we do the ID and V.
Yep.
As a business, we're constantly looking at ways in which we can innovate in our sector to be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. And as new technology comes in, we embrace that new technology to further enhance and improve the way in which we work and the way in which we can better serve our customers.
It's interesting, is obviously the colleague growth that we've had. It's not all just down to sales, underwriters, and recoveries or customer services. We've got the new data and technology team led by Nathan, which is growing but is already adding value back into the business. Obviously, our finance and treasury department continues to grow as well. There's a lot of real green shoots across the business of what will become some real strong branches of our business ongoing.
Yeah, indeed. And look, our mantra is that in any industry there are three types of businesses. There are the innovators, there are the imitators, and there are the idiots. And we pride ourselves on always innovating. To be fair, if we see that another company is doing something better than what we're doing, we will imitate, and we will try and imitate in a way that innovates to improve on what's being done. But I'd like to think that we've never been and never want to be the last one.
No, certainly. But the key thing for us is we're nowhere near our goal. No. We're better than we've ever been.
Yep.
In terms of number, in terms of personnel, in terms of appetite and growth mindset.
Yeah.
But we're nowhere near the end, are we?
No, we're not. But one of the things I think that we can say safely is that other firms in our space, while they recognise that we may not be the biggest business in our industry, although we're certainly top 15, maybe even top 10, we're not the biggest. But we are certainly a beacon within our industry that other firms look up to as a way in which things could and should be done. And actually staying ahead is what we'll continue to do and continue to be, continue to try and be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be.
Absolutely. And as we move it towards Q2, the big thing about Roma is we continue to love to lend, to love what we do, and to deliver those quality projects across the UK, playing our part in delivering a solution for the UK housing market.
In a way in which is borrower first and always borrower first.
Thanks, Scott. Cheers.
Thank you.